What up, gang? Welcome to the channel. I'm back with another video, man. It is Sunday morning and I just pulled up to Walmart, getting ready to do a little grocery shopping, get it out of the way before my day really gets started. But before I go in, man, I just wanted to tap in with you guys real quick. And this sun is beaming out here this morning too. Let me park right here real quick. Talk to y'all for a minute. You know, I realized after being on YouTube for about 3 years now, I realized that the truck drivers out here, let me turn my car off. The truck drivers out here, man, that are really getting to the bag and running it up, making all the money, are the ones that aren't on YouTube as content creators. These guys just sitting back watching all the content creators in the trucking space. A lot of them, they just sit back and watch them complain, hearing them say there's no money in trucking, hearing them talk about the rates. Meanwhile, these guys sitting back making 110, 120, 130, 100,000 a year. And they just sit back and just, you know, observe everybody complaining. Let me take that back. Now, let me not say everybody. And also, let me not dismiss the content creators out there, the truck drivers that are running up a bag. I'm not talking to you, because I know some truck drivers that are content creators that are making money, right? Shout out to y'all. I'm not talking to y'all. But the truck drivers that are really doing it, setting themselves up for success financially, these guys investing, saving, paying off debt. Some of y'all are racking up debt because y'all just getting all this money in. A lot of y'all are racking up debt. You know, we gotta keep it real. We gotta put it out there. I know, because some of y'all out there that's running up a bag and getting money, y'all send me your W-2s. Sometimes you show me what you made for the year. You guys send me paycheck stubs. And that's how I know that a lot of you are getting money and you low key with it. That's why when I hear people say, man, there's no money in trucking, I just kind of laugh at it, man, because I know what's really out there. And, you know, if you're not making no money, then you probably just aren't at the right job. Or maybe your expenses exceed the amount of money you're making and you're so strapped, you don't feel like you're making no money. But to somebody else, maybe your same salary, they could be having a different outcome. So, you know, we got to factor all that in when we talk about whether or not someone is making money. I really don't care how much money you're making. At the end of the day, if your expenses exceed that amount, it's always going to feel like you're not making enough money. So the name of the game is to try to decrease those monthly expenses. We got to try to eliminate debt so that we don't find ourselves in these type of situations. I'm telling you, man, the burden and the amount of stress that you don't have to deal with when you're not underwater by debt, it's invaluable. You really can't put a dollar amount on it. The peace that you get for not feeling like you're backed in the corner because you have mountains of debt piled up, and every week you get paid, you just feel like you're working just to pay bills. The feeling of getting a paycheck and after you pay your bills you still have a pretty good lump sum left over, that's one of the best feelings in the world. I know that's what a lot of people aspire to be, in that position. And just getting out of debt, it's a beautiful thing. And that's something that I'm working on. I'm definitely moving in the right direction. You know, I was watching a video yesterday, and I'm kind of going off topic. Well, sort of, kind of. I was watching a video looking at Dave Ramsey, and there was this young lady on there. I think the video was about a year or two old, but I don't know how it popped up in my suggested videos, but it popped up. And this young lady, she was in her early 30s. She was a nurse practitioner, and she had 3 jobs, 2 full-time jobs and 1 part-time job. They were all surrounded in her field, which was nursing. She was just doing different things, right, in that same field. But man, this young lady paid off $234,000 in debt in 31 months. Let me say that again. She paid off $234,000 in 31 months. That's amazing. And I'll be honest, not everybody would do what she did in order to pay off that amount of debt in that short period of time. I'm not sure if the young lady have any kids or not, or if she was married. I have no idea. Probably not. Just listen to how many hours she was working. She said she was working like 90-some hours a week. 90-some hours a week with all of her jobs combined, which is a lot of hours. I'm not gonna lie to you. I know a lot of people wouldn't sign up for that. I get it. I think it'd be hard for me to sign up for that if I'm being totally transparent. But the fact that this young lady had a goal in mind and was disciplined enough to accomplish that goal, which was to pay off all her debt. She paid off her house, she paid off 2 cars, and she paid off her student loan debt. The point that I'm making is, when you get focused and disciplined on a goal, and you get serious, and you just stay consistent. And she also mentioned delayed gratification, which is definitely something that you need to have if you want to accomplish goals like this. You can't just be buying all the stuff, all the flashy items. You may have to forego taking trips and things of that nature when you really have a goal like that you want to accomplish. You just got to say no to a lot of things. And I mean, let's be honest, a lot of people aren't willing to make that sacrifice. So I think, I don't know, she may be a unicorn in that sense, but it's possible. To me, it just shows you what's possible. And I'll be honest, man, hearing her story, it was like a major inspiration, and it motivated me to really get a little bit more aggressive with paying off my debt. For example, this morning, I watched a story again this morning. I was so, like I said, just inspired by her. This morning I woke up and that was the first thing on my mind. I'm like, man, let me watch this again, man. And I said, you know what? I got some debts that I've been kind of babying, just paying, you know, a little bit more than the minimum payments on certain loans and certain debts. When I have the money in the bank to pay off a lot of these loans, but you guys know how it is. When you have money in your savings and you see the number, you just kind of want to continue building. But in actuality, I know that the interest rates on these loans compared to the interest rate that I'm getting in my high yield savings account, it's really counterproductive to really just be saving when you have this high interest, right? it really makes more sense from a financial standpoint to pay off the debt with the high interest rates. I understand that. But again, like I just said, man, just psychologically seeing the money in your savings account, to me, it just feels good. On top of that, I obviously want to have an emergency fund. So, you know, I'm definitely not going to deplete all of my savings to pay off debt. But I did decide to go ahead and pay off one debt. Actually two debts. One of them were like, one of the debts was a little over $2,600 and another one was like $205. Those two debts combined is going to free up about $320 a month for me. So I went ahead and did that this morning. I said, you know what, screw it. Even though I was paying, again, I pay much more than the minimum payments on these loans. I said, you know what, man, let me just pay this off. Let me stop playing with it. So I paid those off. So now with that $320 a month, well, my credit is going to go up for one. Right now, my credit score is 718. That's going to go up. And then secondly, now I can use that additional $320 some a month to put towards another debt, that's the plan. And I'm just going to get more aggressive and just pay off the debt, man, because that was super inspiring. And that was, you know, the good video I watched. Some other videos I watched, because after watching hers, I started watching a couple more on Dave Ramsey. You guys can do it too. I think it'll be inspiring for you guys to look at, not only for motivation, but to also put things into perspective. When you hear some of these other stories, like I watched two videos where there was a couple that were in their 60s, late 70s, no retirement, no savings, in their 60s and 70s. Hearing their stories also made me say, you know what? I don't want to be in that position when I'm that age, so I really got to just run it up while I'm physically able and I'm young. I got to take this stuff serious. You got two different stories. You got one story, it's basically a success story with this young lady, and then you have another story where it's not such a good story when you have someone, you know, in their 60s and 70s that don't have no retirement or no savings, right? And the one couple, they had a $26,000 tractor that they were leasing. And again, no savings, no retirement. And Dave was basically like, why do y'all have a $26,000 tractor that you're leasing? You got to sell that thing. You got to sell that. The wife still had a student loan. The wife still had a student loan. And they had some cars that they, you know, obviously had financed as well. So they wasn't in the best situation, man. But, you know, just hearing both of those stories, like I said, it really helps you put things into perspective, and it shows you what's possible on both ends of the spectrum, right? If you're not financially responsible, it shows you the situation that you can find yourself in. And if you are disciplined and really focused and consistent on paying off your debt, it shows you what you can do as well. You know what I mean? So it kind of shows you both sides of the spectrum. Go watch Dave Ramsey videos if you guys want some motivation. And when you hear some of these stories with a lot of these people, a lot of people are in some really sad situations, to put it, you know, nicely. It makes you say, man, I really don't want to be in this situation when I get this age, right? But the reality is, if you're not good with your finances, if you don't have discipline, and you know, you're just living for today and you're not thinking about tomorrow, We all know tomorrow isn't promised. Anything can happen. I know, a lot of people like to throw that out there. Well, when I retire at 60 something and then, I've saved all this money and now, I just die, or whatever the case may be. To me, that's just kind of being a little bit pessimistic, right? Be optimistic. What if you do live to be 70, 80, 90 years old and you blowed all your money because you thought you may not live that long? But I don't know, man. Y'all let me know what you think about this video. I kind of went on a tangent a little bit. Shout out to all the truck drivers out there that's running it up. You sitting back, looking at everybody else. You watching these videos and you know that there's money out there to be made and you've set yourself up. You found yourself in a good position. You had a good job. You're getting paid well. Keep it up. I think we need to see more positive truck drivers out there instead of all the doom and gloom and there's no money to be made and all that type of stuff. We all know that there is money to be made, man. You just got to put yourself in the right position. If one job not working out for you, move to the next job, man. Find something better. That would be my recommendation. Find something better. Obviously, try to keep your driving record clean, your background clean, all that type of stuff. And just move around. Surround yourself with like-minded individuals. Get around people that have a mindset to elevate and they want better for themselves. Just getting better each day, making progress, just stacking those wins up over time is gonna add up. Those are the people I like associating myself with. Shout out to my big brother. Shout out to one of my homeboys. We had these conversations and we're talking about, man, how can we level up in life? How can we be better? If you can get around people who are more successful than you are and you're trying to get to a level where some of these people are, talking to these people can really be encouraging and inspiring to someone, right? When you can talk to a real person. Reading books is great. Watching motivational podcasts around entrepreneurship, business, finances, all of that, that's great. But when you can talk to real people, I just think that that's just on another level. But all of it, I think, is important. Also, shout out to my guy, Travel Trucker, man. Me and Travel Trucker, we have conversations back and forth, either through text message or talking on the phone. Regularly, I would say. Just, I don't know, I think it was about 2 or 3 weeks ago. We've texted each other, recently, but as far as phone conversation, we talked on the phone about two weeks ago, and we were talking about business and just different business opportunities. And I love having those type of conversations, man. I know he's all about business, and these are the type of people who you love talking to because it's all about, man, how can I be better? Like, we understand how important saving and investing is, and just, just trying to increase your overall net worth while you're young. We understand how important that is. So having those conversations, I just think it just makes you better. And I think it also kind of holds you accountable to a certain degree. So I love that. Shout out to Travel Trucker, man. If y'all not tapped in to Travel Trucker's channel, definitely tap in to Travel Trucker. He keep it real. He dropping gems. And that's what it's all about, man. He's not the only one. There's some other YouTubers out there who I respect, and they do the same thing. So find you some good channels out there that's really adding value to you, that's, authentic, transparent, and that's just really just keeping it real, man. Sometimes, telling the truth hurts. You know what I mean? Sometimes you guys may hear something from one of us that may touch you, and it may feel like it's a personal attack, but it's not. At least not, you know, from me. Sometimes you just got to keep it real with certain situations. You know, like I talk about people blaming other people for being in the circumstances that they created for themselves. I'm not with that. I don't agree with that. I always say, man, it's all about choices. The choices that we make is how we wind up in the situations that we find ourselves in. I heard an older gentleman say recently, he said, people don't change, people make changes. They are who they are. And I thought that was a bar, man. That was just such a gem. And it's so true. At the end of the day, man, it's all about you. Whatever you put in, that's what you get out. Nothing's going to fall in your lap. Nobody's going to give you anything. This is the real world. We're all adults. Is life going to be easy? Absolutely not. We're all going to have adversity. We're all going to have challenges. It's life. It's a part of life. What are you going to do about it? How are you going to respond to it? Like, come on, man. That's all I got for you guys. I'm getting ready to go in here to Walmart so I can get back to the crib. I hope you guys have a good day. I'll see you on the next one. Y'all take care. Peace.